That boat looked so simple, but it wasn't.
It was simple. I don't know what you guys talking about. It was simple, easy peasy boat.
Well, I was working on that a little bit and I'm almost done with my polar bear. So I'll
You
post
almost
it.
got the polar bear done too?
I thought the polar bear was amazing because, they're not white. And I saw the images people posted with more of yellow undertones, which is exactly how they are in the wild.
Yeah. It was funny. You weren't even there on Saturday, huh?
No, but
I
I
thought you.
watched I watched and I had started mixing colors and all those wonderful colors of the Arctic, they're just yummy because you say, oh, it's white, but it's not really white.
Yeah, yeah. There was a lot of ochres and stuff in him. A lot of ochres, and
Mhm.
yeah, Mary Beth even said we were on the right track. So she was just there, so seeing polar bears. So that was kind of neat. So yeah, and this one back here was, it was challenging. It's very challenging. Uh, I was trying to get a few people like that to soften up a little spots here, right here at this edge. Just
Uh-huh.
soften it up, make sure it's not too hard of a line there. Very easy to, be a little bit too hard. Very wet. See, nothing's dry. Weird, very weird. Um, yeah, this was a lot of fun to do. Not sure how it's pretty glary up there, so get the glare off. It looks a little bit better. So interesting boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a lot of people
Wait.
on Facebook like mine, but I'm like,
Did
I
they?
can't work on it anymore.
You can't. This is the spot right here. This is just finger work. Rub a finger right here on this edge.
Okay,
That's all I
it's
wanted you to do.
okay. It's dry. So what do I do?
Oh, it's not dry. It can't be dry. It's not dry yet. And you have to mix it all up and then rub a finger on it. Repaint it. The whole thing too. No more of this just little pieces. You're gonna make you repaint the whole thing you're gonna have to soften anything.
Otherwise, I'm going to get an F.
Yes. Yeah. No passing grades here. You guys know how tough I am on this stuff. Ah, our last class, just like that. That went pretty quick. At least the fall did.
So Jim, you mentioned you might do a couple of one-offs in December, but when does the next session roughly start? I don't remember. Is it like in January?
Yeah. Yeah, we'd be starting second week of January, probably.
Okay.
Go for about, and I think it goes pretty much 8 weeks, and it takes us almost straight to March.
Yeah, okay. Thanks.
And stuff. Yeah. So we'll somewhere in there. Then I have a couple, after in March I have some to go to workshops out of town. So, and then May I have a workshop out of town, and so it's going to be working around schedules probably next year a lot more because I got a lot more out of town workshops going on.
Which is great.
But speaking of a great in town workshop, right? What is the way? This week, this Thursday, we have that great animal workshop where we'll be painting a lot of different animals.
So excited.
And a Highland cow, it looks like for sure. And we're painting a Highland cow today, and then we're going to repaint the same one on Thursday. So I hope you guys are really excited about that, as I am.
Well, I'm excited about just the being able to get away for 3 days and focus on painting,
Good. Well, that's what we need to do. Just sometimes you got to take care of yourselves here a little bit, and focus on these things and we'll get better.
So
That's what I can
we can bring
hopefully
a
help.
picture, we can bring a picture of our own pet or a friend's pet to work on that third day.
Yeah, yeah, and if it's really complicated, you know, it's pretty easy going. It's just me and you guys. If you want to, you know, start it on the second day, I don't care. I
Okay.
mean, as long as your work's done, you know, and I give you a passing grade, you can go on to the next, you know, your own thing if you want. That's it.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
Very accommodating. Anyway. Anyway, guys, thanks. Thanks for joining me. This is our last class already. She went pretty quick. Falls, you know, leaves are gone, everything's gone. So, perfect one we're coming up with here. Our friend Kim out there, our student Kim, sent us her Highland cow here or a photo of Highland cows. This is her backyard.
No,
as
it's
you can
not.
tell.
This is a friend of mine. This is a friend of mine's photo whose mother lives in the Lake District in England.
No, that's your backyard, Kim.
Okay,
I'm
you see,
sure.
my story was so much better about it just being
Yeah.
in your backyard.
Plus,
and
you're the
stuff,
farmer.
and-
You would
but-
know. You would know a backyard and Highland cows if anyone would. James Swanson. Being a
Yes,
farmer, you are. Right.
Wisconsin boys, we all know what cows look like. And anyway,
Wouldn't
good
they
to have you
been a
here,
boat?
Linda. But yeah, okay, so this Lake District in England, some Highland cows, beautiful cows. The face was cut off on this guy, and so I had to drop in a face a little bit. As you can see, I'll bring it up and stuff, and we'll go over that. But yeah, it's a lovely shot. It was more vertical. On
Yeah, you
hers.
changed.
Yeah, to get the cow in, I had to go this way, and if I would have kept going, it was just it was going to be probably, I felt a little bit too much to paint in one day. But I'll give you, if you want, you guys can paint it any way you want. Let me see. Oh, I'm going over here. Boy, I'll bring it up. The wrong way. One of those days. Oh, it didn't show up over here. Okay. Should have, 1 second. I gotta send it to myself. Should have been. It's on my phone. It should be over there. Sorry. I'm gonna get this one set up again. All right. I tell you, you know, class is always like this. I keep thinking it's going perfect. It's going perfect, dude. I have everything set up, right? Oh, anyway, this is our beautiful cows. Really, really nice. Good set. Yeah, there was a lot more room up top on this one going back, and it was a foggy, misty day. Too many stories, I felt, gonna end up going. We had 2 cows in the front, and you had this background. It was really kind of far and going back there and misty, which would have been fine, but I felt like the amount of time to painting 2 cows is going to be enough for the time we have to get the full effect of the background in. Would have probably took another, few hours. So we didn't have that. So that's why I kind of cut it off a little bit. And when her foot, also the head of the cow was off a little bit. I mean, it was crop. So I dropped in another head here. Lighting is off a little bit. That's always one of the things when you do replace things, and you try to get the light to match a little bit better, because this is more of a sunny day than a gray day. But being dark like it is and not being like this focal point of it. As long as we know where a nose is and some hair coming down and a couple horns coming out like that, we'll be fine. That's all we need to do. Looking at this guy, though, this guy's probably going to be the star of the show. I did not do anything to his eyes or blur him out or anything. You can see his nose. He's got a couple little teeth showing through here. Little flat teeth, of course. These guys are so huge. I mean, that head of this guy is probably, as big as our waist and thing. They're monsters. They're beautiful. Like the golden retrievers of cows, right? That's what. Anyway, beautiful horns on this one.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a really good boy. Nice. Look at those sturdy legs.
Progress.
Sorry, I'm going to have to mute you guys a little bit. Got a few things going on here. I can't do it from here. Sorry. Got a few things going on here. A little bit from here. Sorry about that. Try to go back to it. Okay. Again, this is where we are. We got these guys going to come along pretty well. Green grass, pretty nice green. That won't be a problem. I was just thinking the mist in the back and colors in the tree. There's a lot of different colors. Trees back there, different greens and purples and stuff going back there. To get those guys to sit well and play well, but I thought was, time wise, that's my excuse. But going back to this guy, he's our star. He's going to be interesting to do because he does have a lot of wiggle in his fur, especially up here in his bangs coming through there. I will try to show you how to do it, at least how I do it. And I can't guarantee it's going to come off perfect, but that's the thing is I'm not going to try and do it perfect. I'm just going to try and get the equivalent of what's there when I start doing it. Okay, so we got a brown cow and we got a nice black one. The brown one, yeah, we were already just talking about the colors we could use in the hymn, and we could, you could start with a burnt sienna, burnt umber, and change those guys around and get all these colors pretty easily. You could go a little bit heavier mixing. You could go with a oxide red and some yellow and some blue, and you'll get the same effect. So that's the thing about mixing colors. There's so many different ways to get to them, and it's just one of those things what you feel comfortable with. I usually like to mix my own. I don't worry about things being quite burnt sienna too much, but we'll do a little demo on those two colors, the color mixes, and show you how you kind of come out and one's gonna be more yellow, one's gonna be a little more red space when we do the little demo. Dark guys, him in here, definitely you don't see any light. You don't. Then you see him; he just basically grays out, and that's why I kind of put burnt umber on my my plate today, because I figured it was gonna gray out to about this color. Could be a burnt sienna too. Since I'm doing burnt sienna, I probably should. I'll just do it. I could do it in burnt sienna. It's probably do the same thing. It's just slightly warmer than a gray, which works out fine. Greens. Yeah, a lot of bright greens going on in here. We're gonna have to, watch those, because we don't want them too vibrant. You got to add a lot of blue and a little bit of white to those colors to really push them down, because if they get too intense or too vibrant, they'll just kind of cause havoc everywhere. You won't be able to get any of the real depth going here as you want. It'll just look a little shaky. So that's being done. Yeah, the background very it still gets the misty point across that it's going back there, and kind of goes, get that depth back in here going a little bit. That little path that's still behind the trees, so we know there's huge mountain back there. That's okay. That'll work. And keeping everything soft, back in here, anything behind these guys is going to be soft. Pretty much even this tree here compared to these guys, we're going to keep it pretty soft. Really, I'm just looking at the grass too. There's not a whole lot of detail. The cows have kept it pretty short, so there's not much we have to worry about that way. One of I guess the biggest little things I always kind of run into when I'm doing animals and things like this are the feet. Trying to discover how the hoofs work, or the paws work, or whatever. How what's going on with them. And with this guy, he's a little bit all over the place. In fact, we got enough grass to be our friend here, to cover up a lot of any problems we have. You always have grass on our sides here. This guy is kind of weird too, because he's laying down, and we're going to get his hoofs in the back here underneath, coming through this way. And again, we got a little bit of grass there to help us out. Tell us, like, okay, well, we could, it's going to help us. Use it to help you. I mean, because there's some things I can't make out, and not exactly sure what's going on. If that hoof is going all the way with from that his back leg, or is it curving under, and that's his front paw, front hoof, that kind of stuff I'm looking at. Yeah, so okay. And like I said, I tried on switching heads and trying, because the other one's cropped off in a weird place. Wanted to get at least the full head in there. You get a little bit of turn to it. You got a little bit of light on it. Just keep it value wise when you do it. We're going to keep it in back over here, into his back. We don't have to go that dark. Don't even need to see much. You just know there's a couple nostrils here, and a nose, and we're good. Okay. Otherwise, everything else is, should be paintable. And I'm going to work on definitely the cows today. I mean, we're going to get, that's going to be our big goal, is trying to get the cows in. We'll mix colors for everything, but I think, getting those guys in are going to be probably what we're shooting for today. Any questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
So this photo to me has a lot of depth and a lot of layers. So
right.
When you have something like this where, there's clearly the primary center of interest is the rusty cow. And then you have this, what it looks like a bright green in the front, but we don't want to overdo that. And then this misty softness in the back. I mean, when you look at that, well, I guess we'll learn as you go, but it to me, it's a real challenge, but a great one, you know, because that cow is awesome. So I guess if you could give us some tips as we go along here, because I'm going to take notes about how to create that depth. And as the photograph,
Okay.
I'm trying to think if this was done with a long lens or if it's because it does look a little bit compacted, you know. So anyway, I'm sort of babbling, I'm sorry. But if you could give us some perspective on that as you go, that would be great.
Sure. That should not be too bad of trouble. Yeah, I would say the background. If you look at the background back there, way back in here and stuff, value wise, you squint it down. Yeah, they're gonna fall right here in the middle of probably around a 5 value for some of the lighter areas and slightly darker to 7. So it's gonna be in this mid range here. This guy definitely is gonna be on the lower end, and this guy, being our star, he gets pretty much everything to work on. You know, you got lights, you got darks on him. And then the grass, again, just another high key thing that's going to be up here about a 4 and probably it could go up to 3-ish. That's where I'm seeing this. And that's, you know, the depth will come because of these colors back here being so muted. Because we're going to build pretty much all those colors off each other. So that they can go back there and so we can swap trees if you want, and it should not matter. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, let's head back. Let's got lots of mixing to do and things to do on this one. So we're gonna go over and go over here and play. Oops. Okay. Well, let me get my zoom back up. Come on. Sorry, 1 second. I can't. Sorry. Not right. They're gonna have to quit out. All right, now let's try to set back up. I gotta bring it back here. Sorry about that. I messed up when I had to go send a picture over and just kind of screwed up everything. So we'll start again. Color wise, titanium white, cad yellow light, cad red light, cad red, cad orange, oxide red light, yellow ochre. This is gold ochre, just like yellow ochre, just a little bit of cad red into it, I think, or cad orange, could be cad orange. Alizarin crimson, or if you're a Rembrandt rose madder deep, cobalt blue hue, phthalo green, This is King's Blue. And I do have some burnt umber out. My tools I'm going to be using, of course, big brush, big ideas. I got my big brush out. Will pretty much do most of the work. Then I got some bristles. Definitely, you're going to need some bristles for that cow. Some synthetics. A couple different sizes of synthetics. A lot of bristles going to be today. A lot of bristle work. And then a nice eraser if you have it. That's great. All right, yeah, we're gonna go through this burnt sienna. Let me see if I can find any burnt sienna really easy here. It's one of those things. It's because we talked about. Oh, could you? Of course, it's transparent oxide. Well, that might take a little bit longer. But burnt sienna and yellow probably could do this cow. But first, we're going to do the black cow first. So we're going to start off with burnt umber and blue. Mostly blue, with just a little bit of burnt umber in this one. No white in these first colors. So we're going to get this kind of color. Pretty doggone close already. And then a warmer color, which is more burnt umber than that. Just gonna put a little bit more burnt umber in. These two colors, when they get probably go down and down a step, should be pretty close to what we're gonna need. Get this one back up. Okay, so that's pretty close to what we're going to need on this guy. Probably some more. I'm going to go with some blue again and some red. So I'm going to go with some oxide red light. Venetian would work here. If you don't have oxide red light, Venetian would be a good one. What else? Terra Rosa would be good. Indian.
What did you
Indian
mix
red.
that with, Tim? What did you
Just
mix
blue
there?
and
Okay.
this is blue and oxide red.
Okay.
Oxide red light. Right here, yeah, these two first two are burnt umber and blue. These are burnt sienna, or not burnt, sorry, not burnt sienna. Oxide red and blue. This one could go a little bit bluer, so you can tell it's really pretty close. There we go. So we'll really be on the blue side when it comes down next step. Other colors going to need. Let's see. Let's go with start getting some of these red browns. I think that right here, these are the colors for him, and these colors here probably will translate into him a little bit too. I'm going to do oxide red, and I'm going to go with cad yellow. No, let me try ochre first. Yeah, ochre. I'm going to go ochre, and I don't need that one. So just one. I'm just going to do one main file here. And you can see that oxide red is really, really strong. So I'm going to just come down here a little bit and just do a little bit of ochre. Whatever's on my knife, because it's going away really quickly. That's right. That'll work. Another way you could get there. You start off with burnt umber and go with cad red. It's really just changing the reds around, you know, and using and you can get there with this pretty easy. A little more burnt umber into that. gray it out a little bit more. Because this is how I'd make burnt sienna since I don't have it. Basically, burnt umber and some cad red will do that. So this is just burnt umber, cad red on this side. This side I'm just going to leave a little redder. Enough red? Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, that'll work. I'm going to take these guys down and then I'm going to do a row, start my greens. I want to do my greens separate from these guys. So I'm just going to take these guys down, take pieces of each pile and add a little bit of white to them. These guys, values on this guy is pretty dark, so not going to be a lot of white all added to these guys. Probably keeping it right around an 8. So just a smidgen of color added into these things. Smidgen more. Value. I'm going to go a little lighter because I think I can. That'll work. Yeah, there you go. I feel that makes a difference. It was just too close to the one value there. The home value of dark there was just too close to it. And I could use a little more too. So you should get the red right there coming out of it. And that'll help me get to this area here. I got this one. This is oxide red and blue. Okay. You can really see the blue in this one coming through. You got really same 2 colors, definitely a different blue, more blue in that one showing through. That will come in handy in the face and the horns and stuff like that. These darks here are still can be down in here in this guy's face, in his legs. These guys, let's see what happens here. See who comes closer to being really closer to their fur color. When I start adding white, I'll probably have to add some yellow too. Value-wise, I'm going to get this up to about a mid-tone, which is probably is really close already. So it's really right around a 6. This is on the ochre side. As you can see, very warm, very red yet. Needs to go a lot more yellow. So probably burnt sienna and yellow probably would have been a good one to do. Where this is just getting in there, but it has some spots for it. It has some areas underneath this cooler, muddier color on top of some of these browns will be nice. Okay, and then this last one of it. One color I want to try now is just a little bit of phthalo green and cad orange. That's a whole nother way to get here. Cad orange, maybe more cad red. A little cad red added to it. My orange is really good, but really close. There's always a few different ways you can get there. But sometimes, like you see what happened when I started in white, these guys really cooled off a lot more. These guys didn't cool off as much. Let's see what happens with this one now that we add white to it.
Sorry, Jim, what is this last one?
This last one is phthalo green and basically cad orange with a scraping of phthalo green in it.
Scraping is exactly the key word
The
because
term.
mine came out completely green.
Yeah, you'll use a whole lot of orange to fix that. So just take a little piece of that and add a little bit of orange to it. So this is getting a lot closer. This is way closer. Probably could go yellows into these things yet. But the dark cow doesn't get much more loving. I mean, most of these colors right here are it. And I might have to go one stage lighter here and there. But these guys, I might have to go lighter on because of the lightness of the brown. But basically, I think it's just on these lower key ones here, just adding a touch of more yellow to it. You don't have to do every one of them. I do it just because of I like to have as much information, a chance that I'm going to get something right here. Run across the right color sooner. So these guys, I'm just going to add just a little bit of cad yellow too. Yeah, and basically they got me back to here. That was interesting. You go, you start off with a red and turn it into this color, and then you go start off with a brown, and you get this color. You start off with a green, and you get this color. All these colors can work together as long as they're in the right value range. All right, the next one, getting that grass green. Definitely, this printed out a little bit greener than it should have. I'm going to take 1 second and look at something though. It's really cool, and it's just green, but there's a lot of yellow in it. And I still start off with a really kind of a blue that has a lot of white in it already. I'm thinking if I add yellow to it, gobs of yellow, I might stand a chance of getting there. So if I'm using King's Blue and adding yellow to it, so I'm going to get really close to it right off the bat. So I'm going to do some more King's Blue and yellow. I got a lot of spots here. I got a lot of different little areas here. This one's a little bit stronger. Could still use a little white in it to lighten it up for back in here. So I'm going to bring in some more white. Got a little red into it too, which is always a good thing to put in your greens. Just a hair of red into them just to calm them down so they don't glow too much. You can bring back to earth a little bit, or else they start to day glow on you a little bit. So just a little bit of purplish red or something in these colors. Bring them down to earth.
Which red are you using, James?
I just use some oxide red.
Okay, thanks.
But there is also going to be a toning effect on from the canvas itself too. So it's not like a huge thing here. I'm gonna add some blue to this one. These two are too close together. So I'm gonna add just a little bit of blue into this one. So this is cobalt blue or King's Blue and yellow. And I just put in just a little bit of cobalt blue into it just to try to get this front section here a little bit more rich. And just a hair darker than that. But value-wise now, if you start looking back in here, okay, that tells me value-wise, something like this back in here, I could build those trees off this color too. So that says King's Blue and yellow would be probably be okay back here. So I'm going to start building my forest back there with King's Blue and green that's on my knife here. See, I'm just cleaning it out and I'm getting into the values I need. I'm going to have to lighten it a little bit with more white. Okay, so let's do this with real color I just used. So this is like King's Blue, a little bit of yellow, and then white. Trying to get it to a value of probably 4. Right now I'm at like 5, so I need a little bit more white in here. And if it gets too warm, sometimes even with green going back there, it gets a little bit too warm. It's a little lighter yet. Why am I wasting so much time on that? I don't know. Okay, that needs a little blue now. Okay. Really, really close. If you're going to miss anywhere, I'd go miss on the blue side. Okay. Basically, again, blue, yellow, lots of white. Then I put in just a little, I haven't put anything else in it yet, have I? Okay. All right, well, let's see what we can do here. I want to try and get some of these trees in front here. Warmth and things going. And then I'm going to basically build the rest of the trees back here out of some grays. So I'm going to take and split this pile up into 4. So I have one piece for the grass where I can have that grass down so I don't have to do much. Then the rest I'm going to kind of build into trees. Three colors, but they're going to come off of this color. Coming off this color will keep them back instantly. Basically, I'm going to go up here and take some purple from this guy to get my darker values of color in here. So I'm going to be reusing these colors up here into these greens. Definitely I need a reddish colored one. So I'll go on the red side and add that in. Whoops. And try to get about the same value as that, which is pretty close right away. So that's just basically blue and oxide red and white. I'm just added to this green. I made a pile of green. Just a really simple, clean way to get this done. This last one is over here on this side. I'm thinking that'd probably just be more blue. So I'm just going to take a little blue from my pile there and add it in. So that's this whole back area right here. Just those four colors. I can get pretty much everything back there. There's a mid ground of trees that are a lot warmer. Those guys, I could build those guys off of this grass here. So I'm building things off of each other. I'm not just like starting from ground zero. Each color is not a ground zero start. They can, have, they should have, everything should be built together. these oranges, you know, are separate a little bit. So getting them into some of these greens would be really nice effect. And you're going to find that they start to get in here really easy. That's what turns these greens to these autumn colors. So I'm going to take just a few of these browns and yellows from his earth. Those two I probably use the same color on. More red on this one. Basically, I'm looking at here and going to go, I need a red one, I need a green one, I need a yellow one, I need a green one, I need another red one. Different red. So there's my green one, there's my red one. I just need a kind of another green one and a thing. So I'm going to go up here and steal from that pile. It'll be a different green. I can get it into that. Simple, simple, simple. And these guys, that'll also keep me from making these colors too bright. You know, these colors are going to be bright. I want to keep the brightness right down here right here at the bottom. I don't want to let it drift too far back in here. I'll be able to use just a little bit of this stuff here for highlights in the trees, but not too much. The last one I said that I just need a little more red too, so this needs to go to a red side. Just going to grab my own colors and use those and take it to a red. Might get a little stronger red. That tree does have a lot more. He's a little more forward. He has a little more guts and stuff to him. So. Values again on these guys are pretty good. Horns. I see the horns probably they're gonna be like probably a few little different colors. I think they could go with oxide red and blue, both these guys. And I think I can take these guys all the way up to this value is probably like a 2 or so. It's a lot of white in these things. So I basically want a warm and a cool to build them. One of the things that happens with red as you take it up here, at least these are kind of warm reds and stuff, the yellow kind of starts to pop out when you start to you know, overpower it with white, and the warmth starts to come out, and you get that. It just feels a little lot more towards, feels like it could take the place of yellow. I do it all the time in a lot of things. So I'm going to leave that one there. Very high key. That is probably real close to 1. Only going to be in a few spots on here on this guy's things. Same over here. Leave this guy more blue. Definitely, you know, the midtones and stuff, I'll probably be able to steal from everything. I think these dead colors right in here will build those horns really nicely. I'd like to take these 2 colors down one more step. I'm going to add blue, use blue instead of white.
Can you repeat the basic colors in that one, please?
Okay. In
That you're
which
doing-
one? The
that you're
first
doing-
one?
What you're doing right now? Yeah.
These are burnt sienna, burnt umber, and blue. This is on the blue side. This is on the burnt sienna, burnt umber side. Just a little bit of white, and then I brought them down here. These guys, instead of using white like this, which would take them to make it go gray really quick, I use King's Blue. If you have King's Blue, if you don't have King's Blue, it's really just blue and white. It's just keeping it, you know, instead of going all the way back to a white value, I use that, and I can it just helps me make it quicker. King's Blue is so weak, it won't take your color to turn it to like it did with this. So you have to always kind of watch it. King's Blue just doesn't, it's just barely a tinter. It just kind of shifts things, but not huge. It's not a huge shift. But I was thinking that could be there. This might come down a little bit too, but not much. All right, there we go. All right, colors. I'll go through them again. Those I'm hoping, yeah. See, you nailed that. Nailed it. Okay. That was oxide red and blue, mostly on the red side. I'll go through the colors. Burnt umber and blue. These first two, this is on the blue side, this is on the burnt umber side. Brought them down, going for like a number 6, 7 value range, probably 7. With white. And then over here, when I brought them down the next one, I used blue instead because I was looking for some of the blues and grays in here. I didn't want to use totally white. Because it just didn't want to brighten it up too quick. This is oxide red, light and blue. This is on the oxide red side. This is on the blue side. Came down with blue, white into them right here to probably about a 7. Added white to it here where I was going to bring him down to like 4s and stuff for his back end, for his highlights, the black Highlands highlights. Now the oranges we played with trying to see if we can, how close we can get to getting to this guy right off the bat. This is a mix of oxide red and yellow. I didn't use yellow, I used ochre. And this is more ochre than oxide red. It's hard to tell sometimes because the ochre is never as strong as oxide red. This is burnt umber and cad red. Got a really nice dark red. He will definitely be here in the lower end. Over here we have more on the red. Supposed to be more on the red side. Doesn't really look like it, but just barely is. Bringing him down, you can see the white. This one stays warm, darker on the brown side. This thing goes pretty much on the red side, not quite that much. Added yellow. Took a piece of these guys and added yellow because I was looking like back in here. I need this kind of orange color. I'm not getting and stuff. Sometimes it's yellow. That's when I said, well, let's do it in one more color. Phthalo green, cad orange. And I started putting that in there. It's really kind of close. It was really kind of close. But it was just need to be just a little bit more on the red side. So added a little cad red to it, cheated it with cad red. You know, this is basically what you'd get if you use burnt umber and yellow. Easy way. Then I added white to them. When you add white, you can see how this stayed on the warm side. These guys went on the cool side. Gotta have both. Gotta have both because this stuff's going to be all over in his back and probably in his bank. So this is really good. That's really, really, really good. These guys are probably going to need probably one more lightness of white to these guys, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Here we started making greens. We want to get these rich, bright greens going in here. And I thought phthalo green to myself. Of course, I'll use all my yellow trying to get that, you know, to the right value, and it's just going to be too bright. So let's still start with a mellow version of blue and let the yellow really overpower it right away. And that's where I came up with King's Blue and yellow here. This is more yellow. This is King's Blue and yellow. I added just a touch of blue into it, regular blue. You get that? And also we had just a touch scratch of one of these oranges into it too, just to calm it down. But when you're using King's Blue, it's pretty calm anyway. I took that color and I added a ton of white to it. I took a piece of this, added a ton of white to it to get it to this color. I made a big enough pile that I could split it into 4 piles and still keep a piece of it. This one, I added some oxide red and blue from this pile. This one, I added red and blue for this one on the red side. And then this one, I just added some blue to it. to get this whole range, and then I'll take care of this whole back area. Then over here, I did the same thing, but with this green, I kind of split it up and did the same thing. But I used oranges because this is going to become closer in here, these guys. So I got more yellow here, got a more orange one here, and then a real red one here. I added a little bit of blue into that one. You're going to need some of that for this guy. Then the horns coming out of finally in the horns, I took some oxide red and then the oxide blue mixes, those two mixes, and really keyed them up all the way up to here. Everything else I should be able to find. If I need any lights, high key ones, like for his back and stuff, they're going to be probably more of these yellows here, yellow and whites. To get that, really, that's all they're going to be. Really high key yellow. All right. I think I did enough talking. Colors again, and I'll got some burnt sienna, burnt umber out, which I'm going to tone the canvas with. That will also help me with the grayness, keeping it gray back there, getting that depth. And it should not, overpower things, but it will make my painting dry very quickly. My painting should be dry in the morning. Any question? Quit crying. Come on, get busy.
Did you say burnt umber, James, that you're gonna tone with, or burnt sienna?
Burnt umber, I am.
Okay,
I want that if you start with burnt sienna, it's gonna warm it up. I need to cool it off. And
okay.
burnt umber has a little more coolness power. The cooler of the two. Okay, let's bring it back up. Get you guys going. I'll bring you guys in. See, this one, really, it's all about the drawing. And when you start doing animals and things like that, it's all about those guys. So you want to spend your time really drawing those guys out. Right. Get this in the right position. Give you as close as I can get. All right. Toning it. Big brush, big ideas.
You got a big
All my
canvas.
drawing with this. This is you want me to do a small one?
No. I just wonder what the size is.
6 by 12, 16 by 20.
Oh, it looks big.
I get that a lot. Oh yeah, I got a million.
I was waiting for that. You're so
I know, it was a
predictable.
gimme.
So predictable.
Oh, it
You don't
was
have,
just-
if you don't have burnt umber and you use burnt sienna,
okay.
um,
Put a little blue in it. Put a little blue in
Right.
your mix of
okay,
burnt umber,
that's-
and you should do it.
okay, thank you.
That'll get you the same place. It should not make in the underpainting. Did you do some mixes with burnt sienna? I hope that'd be fun.
Yes, some of the reds for the coat.
Good. That should be fun. I'm going to take it a little easier down in here, but there are a lot of nice cow pies down in here. And if some of these strokes become cow pies, that's genius. I want you to know that right now. That's what you want. That's what I was going for. I was going for cow pies all along. My big idea was cow pies. I'll leave it a little more dark in the back. I think if I wipe it out right, I can get the same kind of value. So a lot of times I do that just for judging things, for judging colors, that my values are about right. I've been off wild lately a few times. Pretty bad though. Okay, here we go. Highland cow. How do we draw one? I didn't go into that, did I? Really, I want to make sure at least I get the right spots. You know, his feet I want to end right around there. Head I want to end about a third up, a third of the painting. So he's a little bit over, yeah, right about here. Okay, so I take that measurement, I bet you if I split it, his head is huge. And it is really close to halfway between those two marks. Definitely want to draw a line down the middle of his head because they're very symmetrical. He's looking straight at us, which is good. So he's going to have equal on his nose. He's going to have going to be split like that. You come back from right to his nose. You should get his eyes. His eyes should come off the edge of his nose here. That's the way people are. Dogs are the same. At least Goldens are the same. And you got to get the right angle here. Underneath, back to the nose, around the nose, around the muzzle. Turn it in a little bit at the top. A little flatten it on the sides. Turn it in. Give it a little oomph. Hopefully I got that. Hopefully I got that enough room. Okay, right there. Yeah. Might have to move his head over a little bit. Look like I missed everything a little bit. Yeah, I started too far over. I need to go this way. He's a big boy. Okay. So his body comes out almost as well to where his ear is on this side. Really, it's about the same. Find the length of that ear. You can get the outside rim of his leg or his body here coming back in. I might have got to move his head up a little bit. I think I. Back in, draw it in one more time. Okay. Well. gonna try and get the spacing of his legs right first before I get the body right. And get the measurements between here and that up there. That kind of will help me get the full length of him. Back there. And then how his butt goes, just almost the top of his head. Same as his head. Little things I'm just noticing, I'm just throwing those out. It's not like I know much about Highland cows. I've only painted them a few times. Okay, so again, just trying to get the drawing right first before I go any farther. I'm not even too worried about anything else, even the background line. I can bring that down a little bit more. Trying to get so it's not exactly in the middle. I can bring it down a little bit farther, even give it a little curve to it. Might be better at the end here. Okay. Big old ears. Again, just burnt umber I'm just using here for this, just drawing it in. Don't really want to go too much farther down than this. Maybe an inch and a half there. So hopefully I'm right. I can always take things up. With grass should be fine. Okay, the lying down guy. Yeah, slightly goes back a little bit in perspective. Come just a hair more. Tree here. More tree there. Green area up here coming through. The warmer trees right in here. Okay, I'm gonna wipe it out a little bit. This one's my highlights where I can judge you. The width, I got to get in front of this to see a little bit. I think probably don't lose a lot of more forehead. Ear there, okay. Yeah, I got him a little squarer than he should be. That's one. He should come out about right here, I think. And then a little in between here, probably messed up there. Yeah, oh yeah, okay. A little bit better. All right, at least the math is starting to look better. Measuring and things like that. This guy I don't care about too much. I think whatever I lose on him is fine. I can lose it behind him. It's great. So, all right, let's just say that's pretty good. I can fix pretty much any mistakes I make, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to start off with the blue and burnt sienna or burnt umber mixes. If I put the blue one in, it's going to be here at the bottom of this guy's feet. Going to go with the burnt umber and blue mix right here. Same on this side. It can be almost full strength at the base. I'm using full strength. Yeah, you can see it. Just that's where I was missing this back leg here. I had too close. So that which when I did that, that made this one too close. Now it's back, and now I just got now I can work with back up. Get that. There we go. I'm just going to drag this up and let it off a little bit off my brush. Then I don't have just perfect lines here to finish off this guy at, so just a little bit of that going. I'm also going to the burnt side, and I'm going to go to the brown side. Yeah, I'm going to start putting it in his face right here too, right underneath his nose, into his jaws, coming in and stuff. You can try to get it heavy into here, and then into the crevices of his fur coming down here around his neck, coming down like a little V shape. Basically, everything's coming down right here to his chest area right here. And that is goes all the way to his knees, that chest thing. So, and then outside again, here's his ears, probably going to come right about here. So that's going to come back in right around there. Looks like a bear. That's the best bear I think I've ever done. You know, That's pretty good. Burnt umber again in blue. Just going to put that, start working that in here pretty lightly, not really heavy, because I want to get some red in here too. But I want to get the darkness. This will help me get some the darkness for some of these other things that are going to come in. That's why I was making the legs so dark too, because I think they're going to end up being that way. So into here and into his ear. Okay, I'm going to go back to the blue mix, blue side of this burn umber and blue. Making sure it's really kind of blue, more blue. Certainly in his neck. Pretty simple. I'm not going to try and do too much. He gets all the love. He's going to get a lot more love than this guy. This guy's going to be pretty simple. But he'll be simple, but he'll probably turn out probably the best. That's usually what happens. You do keeping things simple works the best. Okay, so I'm using that blue part at the very bottom. Right into our guy here too, so I don't want an edge. I don't want the edge. I want to create the edge. I want to be able to create the edge later. Set this, form him out. I don't want to do it here. I want this guy to just to blend into him a little bit, but I want to pull that thing out on my own. Going a little more brown now on top, just keeping the blue down below. Brown, a little more brown right here on top. And this black fur going up. And then I'm going to go to the red side. Now I'm going to switch colors, which will make a lot of difference. I'll be able to use this up here. Basically, again, since I'm not using any white, reds become your warms in these things. And they can do a lot of work. I mean, lightening things without and warming things up. I'm using him. That was just the oxide red and blue mix, but it's on the red side. As I get towards his head area here, I'm going to go more towards the blue side a little bit because I want to just create a little more depth. Keep the red back in the back of her haunches a little bit more, back in here. In this area here. Then when I get up here, I'm just going to just shift it to a little bit more blue side. He looks about right off the bat, and I didn't do anything right. And it's all big stuff. Just trying to get the shape right. Probably a little heavy. Yeah, I went a little heavy because I moved his feet and kind of threw my marking off here. Okay. Now I have to have those colors to play with. Now I'm going to come back into this guy again with the same colors I just used on him. Now I can start using my blues and my red into this guy, especially on the front feet here, right in the front. I've got the brown and things in here, but this red is going to start taking over the painting on this, at least on this Highland. So this dark red and this mix of blue into it are going to be really going to need to be in here in the dark sides, the dark areas. That's what I'm working at right now into his mouth. Knowing that also that, you know, there's gonna be light fur and some other stuff that's gonna come in here and stuff. So a lot of thinking ahead. Definitely on this one, a little bit on the red, oxide red side, right here on the forehead. It'd be nice to have coming down, working into his face. For those, it will help play against the bangs that are going to come in. It's going to really pop those bangs out. So you want to keep those kind of really kind of dark and nice and rich. Especially in these little crevices on the side there. So I'm going to be going back with the reds and the oxide blue mix, just going pushing those two together, just trying to get a good, the right in between of red and blue. That's his nose, right in here. We lightening up. That's the nice thing about when you put these things in dark, is when you lighten them up with color and things glow a lot nicer. I'm gonna put a little more red right here around his neck too. He's gonna be basically looking like he has a lot of red in him. That color is really good color. Gosh, I'm just gonna put a little green into it. So I didn't mix this color because I didn't see a lot of it, but thinking if you could get a little more, some phthalo green and oxide red into here. You know, all these, I should have, you know, had this color made, but let's try and take it a little easy because we have two cows. But this is like a color that, you know, is like for stained grass on these animals, things like that. Horses, you find them in workhorses and things too. That little bit of green from the grass staining it into their coats. So that coming in from his lower areas where he's laying a lot. Be nice in here. So I'm putting it in there. It's just a little phthalo green and oxide red. That would have been a good color. That would be nice when I get some tone, when I use that to separate out the stuff. Okay. Pretty much that goes straight up and turns over there, and we got your cow. Because I saw that green right here in his muzzle. Just a little white add to it. This is start. Okay. This guy's pretty good already. I mean, even the transparency of the background showing through, working pretty good. All right, so I'm not having to do anything with him. All right, I'm gonna have to switch to a bristle brush. Now, before I go any farther, no, gonna go to a bristle brush with my big bristle. Sure, I might any paints out of it. All right. Let's see. This first color we made up in reds. It's a oxide red and ochre. It did not. That ochre did not move this color at all. So I'm not going to be using it probably too much. Just going to find a few little spots I see it and put it in here. And that's around the, I see a lot of red around the ears. And the inside of the ears. Some above his eye. Into his forehead here. Just gently blend these two together a little bit. Pretty close there. Bring it down and put it in top of his nose. That'll help bring his nose out, I think. Okay. Legs coming back here a little bit, over here a little bit more. Okay, I said I was going to use this too much, but I am. Yeah, just did. This color here, I'm going to go switch to now. Is blue. Is burnt umber and cad red. Burnt umber and cad red, and it's very similar to the same color. Like I said, we made all these colors, they're very similar. I'm finding it more in the back area because it's a little bluer. Yeah, I'm a little squatty on this. I think a little bit of his face is just a little too wide. So made him a little squatty on this side. So basically it's got to move his ear over. So that's what I want to do is get that stuff in there. Get that dark back in here. That's not even that dark. It's more of a medium. But the next colors, this is like the underneath colors. It's not supposed to be perfect at all. I want to throw some in here. Always a good thing to have move some color around. Okay. I'm going to drop down on him now. I'm going to start getting the midtones, more of the midtones in, the ones that have just a little bit of white in it. This is when I have gold, ochre, and what? And yellow here, red. Did not put this one in. That yellow really lighten up his face here. Shift his nose over just a hair more. This has just a little more yellow in it. It's more ochre in that red. I'm trying to get these colors in before I put anything with white in. I want to keep this guy as rich as possible. The only way you do that is really limit the amount of white that's going to be end up getting in here. So using these ochres and yellows first mixed in, we'll do some, should do, make a, you know, go along, at least a long ways with this. Lightening them up, getting these tones in here. Definitely wanted to get this kind of stuff in here before I got the highlights in. So, you know, just has a little bit of something to grab onto. To get a little bit of this red that's underneath the scope there. Got it all about brown. I could use just a little bit of red on the outsides there. Because it's going to change pretty quickly when that gets stuff that starts getting hitting it. The highlights, the midtones, stuff starts showing up on this guy. Very squatty yet. Boy, this guy's a little bit of a squat. What a big old hamburger he is. Okay. Him too. I'm going to go back to him now a little bit. Just put in just a few grays, midtones. That's the one with blue, and I put it back here. Yeah, definitely it's not the right spot. You can work down in here with that, into his face here, maybe in the back of his neck. More towards this area that color is. So that's burnt umber and blue and white. It's on the blue side. This is on the brown side. And this is where I kind of thought it was going to go, right in here. Right in that one shoulder there. You know, here I was worried about that foot and everything here too, going, oh, you know, that could be the problem. That could be a problem. Yeah, I don't even see it now. Oh well. This is oxide red and blue on the red side. With white, this is where I was seeing it, right here on his back edge. Coming up to his shoulder blades, right about in there. Yes. Okay. That's. He's not going to get much more, this guy, except for his horns, right? Some highlights in his hair and ears and stuff like that, you know. He didn't get a whole lot more, no. All right. I'm going to wipe that brown I just put in. And I'm going to we're going to start on the next round of light colors on this guy. Definitely we're going to probably start getting a lot of the big hair stuff going on in here. All right. I'm going to go with this oxide red and umber, a little bit of white in it first. Then I'm going to go with this one first. That one's too close to that one. I'm going to go with it just because it's a little lighter. See where that goes. Okay, it's a little cool. So it should go on the cooler side. Should be the front side. It's slightly backlit. Use it for a little bit of drawing too, because I'm kind of missing a lot of little things here. Am I missing my marks? Okay. I don't want to get too much lightness up here. Yeah, yeah. I do need to get some on the back. That's too dark. This needs to be a little bit warmer. More towards this. Okay, I'm just going to load up my brush. That's not bad for the first round. And come down here, just do that little right down to this curly hair right here. This is color is this is cat orange and a little touch of phthalo green. That's what this color is. What I want to do is let this bristle, very softly drawing things in. And if you follow the path of the fur like this and just let it come off, it might take a few strokes, but it will do a lot of get that feeling of fur pretty easily.
Hey, Jim, it's Mike. Is that what'll start to give it that kind of moppy look?
Right. It's this one, and then the jump to the highlights. The jump to the highlights it's got to be kind of drastic. Where these guys, as you can see, are kind of muddled together a little bit value-wise. There's only the difference of between some of these colors is just the rich and much yellow you have in there. And then when this takes over, it's gonna, when you hit it with a really hot highlights, that's when you leave this stuff show through underneath, and that's what really creates the modeling effect of that curly dogs or any other things. That's kind of how you have to go about it. But I shouldn't be telling you guys any of this stuff. I should just be painting. What am I talking to you guys about that stuff for? That ear band goes all the way back there too. All right. Trying to get this. So are you painting tonight, Mike?
No, but I will be. I got home too late, but my sister has 2 of these things in Cody, Wyoming. So I'm highly.
You better.
What are their
paint it,
names? Do they have names?
Oh, they do. Give me a second. I'll come up with them.
Nice proper Scottish name.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to just take some of this color down his leg a little bit too and work it in just to the highlights a little bit. Since it's not too bright and everything, it can get into these. Very gentle, I must say. I'm just basically swirling the paint around right in this area here about his legs. It's really, if you take it and gently do it with a bristle, and you try not to too much pressure and over paint, let the two colors kind of find a place for themselves in this area here. And it worked out pretty well. That's working. I mean, yeah, basically now everything's getting set for this last stage. Okay, but to get to that last stage, I want to make sure the eyes are right. Right now I have them I don't have them slanted enough. So they slant a little bit more. So I push the slanting. I'm going to go probably a different it's a slightly smaller bristle brush. Let me get that. Nothing with white in it yet. Now I haven't used anything with white. Now I'm just going to, first time I'm grabbing something with a little bit of white on this guy. Everything else has just been pushing with yellows and reds and oranges. This is going to be around for his eye because I need to straighten his eye out, and it comes back into this dark here. I just want to get that little twist right there in that little area on this side too, that little right underneath his eye. Get that in because if I hit it right, you don't want to have much more work to do. Also going to touch his nose here and just push his nose back into space. Okay. All right. I'm going to start. Usually what I'm going to do is just going to start back in his back here area here. This is like a place to get that belly, the round come from his top of his back to his belly. Get that line nicely and strong. But, also give it a little bit of weight. And it's a good place to start with because, I'm warming up on these strokes. And it's good to miss. Good place to miss. So just a touch of oil on my brush. I'm just going to grab a touch of oil. Grab my kind of high key white. I'm going to add just a little yellow to it because I think it's too white. It's going to end up being too white. So I'm going to start right back here. And this is a place you can miss, and you might even hit it, which is not too bad. It's really just kind of instead of going in one just straight, strong motion, you're really kind of, just stopping and just moving it a little bit. You're just getting a little herky-jerky to it. So with this mark made, I can just come back around here and get the back of his, drag it around, and then like 3/4 this guy's already done. Not really, but he's getting there. That was a high key area. Most of the other areas are going to be more of this oxide, or more of the phthalo green and the orange with white in it. It's really a warmer color than the other ones were, without adding yellow. So same thing over here, just dragging it in to tone it. This is the color I was thinking I'm going to get a lot closer to what I need here. Okay. I'm going to start right here between his eyes. Really just laying my brush almost flat and just, rocking it down to his nose. I'm going to do that a couple times here. Make it down the side of his face a little stronger on that side. Gonna be a little warmer on the other side. A little more warm. Okay. So everybody knows somebody with a Highland cow. I can't believe that. There we go. It's starting to come. Coming. It just takes a while to get there. Just don't want to dive in here and do fur too fast. Okay, but we can't wait any longer. I'm going to go with like a mid-tone of color. Bristle brush, basically bristle brush. I'm going to lay it a little flat here on top head. I'm going to try and get this swirl right here, the main swirl on the right side of his head, and see if I can get one here. I'm going to start right at the top of his head, lay it flat almost, bring it down, and then twist it, and release the pressure, and bring it back down. Just see if it does it. Got the mid-tone of it. Probably could have went a little bit brighter on that. On the second side, just comes down the other way. It just doesn't really have that same same thing. And this guy here probably might end up. A lot of this little teeny stuff too will end up being, knife work. But I'm gonna find a lot of this little things coming off his ears at the ends and stuff. Just can be just drag with the brush. Gentle drag will let the bristles do a little bit of what they want.
Okay, so if that turns out a bit green because the dark was a blue mix, how do you fix that?
Is it now? You want to know now?
No, tomorrow I'll have to paint it with something else.
If it turns green, go with a little bit more orange into the color.
Okay.
Try it again with more orange, more orange.
Thank
Do you
you.
have cat orange?
Yes.
You got cat orange, it'll work.
Okay.
Cat orange into that color, less, and then
Oh yeah,
that should do it.
that does. You're right. Thank you.
You're welcome. You got to hit this one. You got to do a good job on this one. Okay. All right, so that's the base, the bangs, sort of. These are like the under things for the bangs. There are gonna be a couple little highlights yet, but I'll probably end up putting more of those guys in with my knife a little bit. Let me go back in and start coming in here to his ears and start working this back here, this back fur, and be able to use this to start pushing his ears around a little bit. In theory, this is what I do, and it usually will work. So, and I'm really going with a lot of this. Ends up being a cad orange and just a little bit of ochre, or a cad orange and just a little bit of a phthalo green, and with white. For me to get the color right, it's really that's really right there, I think. come down here and just push a little bit stronger, harder. Get a little more paint on the outsides. Paint on here. Yeah, now I'm going down and I'm going to do a lot more of the white areas here. A lot more strokiness. This last part, everything else was kind of big, big and drawn out. And now everything's going to be just a twist of the brush, as quick as you can make it, and you get all that little furred indentations in. So touches and twists. Especially in this area, there's a lot of them, but can also get a real dabby looking if you do it too much. So that's where they always want you to combine these things a little bit, combine your strokes so you don't have too many of those little strokes together. So. All right. Like I said, this guy's going to get most of the love here on this one. And then horns got to be done at the end. I'm not going to paint around them. I did not get this. Figure I was going to work on his nose here a little bit more than I am. So. Just missed that back end of this. All right. This is what happens. You kind of just wipe out your darks really quickly when you start going like this. I will probably end up putting a lot of the stuff back into the knife at the end. But now for the fun part is getting the background in. Let's get a little bit of the background in. These guys are well placed. Can't do the horns until these guys are, I got some background in there. So I'm going to start dark and go and work my way back. Working with this, I'm going to use a little oxide red and blue first. Oxide red, and on the blue side, kind of dark back in here. Not the tree color yet. But I'm not going to worry about the highlights in this guy. This guy, the highlights are going to come in a little bit. I want to work on getting this tree in here. A little blue on top and then a little more red on top. On the top. Okay, now I can go with the greens. This is where I made that grass green, that kind of stronger grass green at the end. And out of the, I made the tree out of the grass. That's what I was saying, trying to say. Well, this is the green where I added blue to it. And so it's just a little bit stronger green here going up behind that guy. Coming over to the floor. Gonna work it a little bit underneath here too, so it's not just one. And look, so I can gray out this blue I put back in here and gray it out a little bit so it doesn't. Then work these two together a little bit. Should be in a good spot. I'm gonna lose the horn a little bit because I don't want to have a mark there for myself too much. Okay. Now from there over here, I keep that, finish that green off on my brush here a little bit. Just get it underneath this guy right here, this green. This one is going to be that yellow one right here in the middle, right there. So basically I'm using the color I had over here, this green and stuff, but at a very thin rate. Catching probably a little bit of the brown here left here, just a very thin. Let's just say that. Trying to get that shape, little goofy shape of it, of this thing. They're almost like, you know, lollipop trees going back there, you know. So, but this one has a lot more yellow in it. And this is in fact the one I added. And add yellow to it. What did I do? I used some orange, one of the orange, light oranges to it. Very scientific. So that's going in some of this top area and him. Back in there a little bit. Just go around here and just clean my brush a little bit again. Picking up a little bit of dirt from this guy, which is fine because basically I just want to tone this thing just one little bit under where this orange is going to go. This orange is going to go in here. And with the bristles, looks pretty good. So this one, I just add a little bit red orange to it. Very muted. Brush it off at the bottom here a little bit more. Bring it over into this tree a little bit here and there. Good. Okay. Well, there's your trees. There's your trees right there. I just thicken up a few little paint here and there. Like I was saying, probably pick up a little bit of cow color from back in here and use it for up there. At the end, just need a little bit more white into it. Okay, from there, basically we're gonna go drop back right behind those trees. That's where we made up that green from the light green and a King's blue mix. Add a lot of white to it, and we added a little bit of blue to it too. And that was going to go right into here. This might end up being, like I said, just not blue enough. I could steal a little blue here on this one. There we go. Blue it out a little bit. Okay, bring it down, touch up these guys, soften the edges. Bingo, bango, boongo, we're done. Just like that. Now we're going to do the red one on this side. Use green and using oxide red into it. And I'm going to make it kind of a nice purple. Come over here and made a couple of little trees right here. We'll put it over here too. For now. And then I can gray it out a little bit. I'll gray it out a little bit. some of that blue added to it. And the same over here. I have this one. Whoop, I'm gonna go back a little bit. A little more purple under this guy, a little bit more. It's just a little too bright. So this is a oxide red and blue right here. Oops. Now I went a little too dark. In between those guys value wise, so I'll mix them both together. Put it back in here. Get that blue in there. Definitely a lot of blue in there. Now I'm going to bring it back up with those two greens I may have there on top of it. They don't need a whole lot of information. Use a little bit of grass color and start bringing in that stuff. Just a little too much white. Much more grass in here. These guys are going to be really soft. They're just going to be going around and doing the halo effects on some of those guys back there. Get those separations of colors. Don't want them too bright. Definitely don't want them to stand out too much. And then with this color, I'll just start the grass right away and just go on and get that out of the way. Get that grass cut up. Okay. Let's see if this works. Just a little too strong, a little lighter. So I'm using the bright grass right now on this guy, right tree back in here, this right behind him. Just using that strong grass as the highlight color for this guy right in here. Now work. I'm going to bring it in, just knock that one down a little bit. And see if we can get a little lighter here and there on that. There's your background. Not too bad. I need to go a little bluer yet on this thing, this guy. That's better. Okay. I'm going to just throw these greens in the front, and then I'm going to come back and do the highlights. I'm going to start with a brighter color in the back. Back here. Keep it a little stronger back in here. Okay, when I get to about halfway, almost to the end of the cows here, that's when I would start bringing in the next value color. Get a little bit stronger, a little darker, and bring that down to about almost to the bottom. And even though I can see I have some few drawing problems on this. Definitely have a few. Yeah, I think a lot of this it's going to be like highlights that are going to make the difference, that are going to come in and do, I can fix a lot of the drawing problems with those guys. I just wanted to get some of this grass into. So I'm just going to mark it up for you to show you where it's going to go. And at the end, it's going to be bring in just a little bit of this bright back in here. The front area will help get a little bit of contrast going. Get the pop up a little bit. And just quick blend there. Making sure the color's not too perfect. Maybe I'll just take it up higher. All right, that'll work. Okay, horns. I hear a horn back there. I guess I better put the horns in. That was pretty clever. I thought
Very
that was
clever.
pretty damn clever too. Very, very clever. I mean, wow. So I got to get over that a little bit. Get the right width, length. Comes out about the ear. Okay. Getting the white area, just cleaning it out. And if I miss anywhere, I just, everything's so nicely wet. You still push things around nice. This might come out a little bit too far. Come back, down a little more angle. There you go. Okay. And this guy, these are always the goofy ones to do. When they've got foreshortened like that. And everything's just see a little bit of it back in here, and then everything else goes right around to a horn. Okay. Clean out his nose a little bit. Put everything back in. Basically you got to clean out your markings, and then make sure you got everything in the right place. A little more tilt. I gave him a little tilt to his head here. That's probably too much tilt. I don't think it works with his head. This one needs to come down underneath a little bit here. It needs to come down there. Like that tilt. This one goes up a little bit. A little bit better. Okay, now I'd go to a synthetic and kind of finish the rest off. Don't need a big one either. I probably could just do a medium sized one here and just do a lot of strokes. I'll be doing a lot of oxide red and blue mixes, probably for the bottom parts, the shadows of areas on here. That's what I'm looking at. This is on the red side. It's kind of a purple, warm purple. I might have to go just a little bit stronger. This had just a little bit of white. This is back to its full strength. On this side, maybe go to the cooler side. Ramp his ear a little bit. Look at the leaves back in here, just dropping in a few of those back in. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Don't want to make them too much of a longhorn. Pretty easy to do here. Just thinking about putting in his ear here. I'm not going to be putting in some of the hairs, basically just the tip of my brush. I'm just going to just touch it in there because most of the stuff on this back over here isn't really that's really that strong. So just the side of the brush will do it. Draw down a few hairs. keep the warmth as much as I can in this front guy there. Front part of it, and then cool it off in the back. This is where that oxide red and white, like I was saying, was sometimes can kind of become a yellow when you put it in here in a high key. The yellow sometimes just too strong, and this kind of works. Ear wise, just a little bit of touches. I'm just gonna put in a little bit of this guy. Okay, I'm almost there for tonight. I can just start to change my drawing around a little bit. Start to get to bring in my final highlights. You know, just to get those top ridges here on this head, just get them out here a little bit wider. Now that at least these guys are in, now I can put the hair in a little bit twisted there. A lot more yellow in my paint here. Just a touch of oil too. Just a touch of oil to get this. And just a grab. You know, and the last little thing I'll do for this session. And just a little bit of green into my paint too. Just a little, my white, just a little bit of that bright green. Get a little yellow from that. And trying to hinge it up a little bit. Just use the tip here to scratch it in. First ones don't look that good. It's more the when you get a few more put in. Just a little bright, just a hair bright too. Tone it down here. That's the thing is, we just did this, and I said that you put it in with a knife, it always goes in like a whole step lighter than you thought it would with the brush. So it's almost like a different color you just have to use. Just a little bit of shake, bring it down. I put it in, I almost end up having to scratch it all back out. Seems like. Just a little bit of knife work just to blend the things. I'm sure it will not lie here. Okay, that's it. I have to take a few minutes tomorrow and fix this. But I have all the colors for it. It should be all pretty good. Just to see, good to see how badly I drew it out. Now this is where it came out so far. You see him, he just does need a lot of work on that head. And legs. The other one, like you said, back there, he doesn't look too bad. And the colors are all right so far. Just going to take a little bit of more playing around of shapes and a few things to put in here. Nothing too much. Nothing like I don't have. So if you guys want to show your work, turn on your cameras, turn on your mics. Wow, got a lot of people here tonight. Everybody showed up for the last one, like they were going to be tested or something, huh? That's why they all showed up.
Jim, it's Linda. I didn't paint tonight. I was just watching and taking notes, so
Okay, Linda, you get a C plus.
barely.
All right. Char's up first. Let's see
Well-
what Char has.
Hang on, let me try to get my lights fixed.
Okay. Lori,
Yeah.
can you go?
I did. Here you go.
Hey, Lori.
Plan.
Oh, good color. That's nice. I like him. Good drawing, good color. Like his solid dark nose. You're getting there with the shapes.
There.
He looks good. The other cow, you know, he needs a little bit more, probably more foundation underneath him a little bit. It looks a little long on the neck,
Okay.
but color looks great. I love your colors. I love those the way you're putting them in right now. It's really nice. I think when you know, when we start getting into the more hair dragging and stuff like that into them, that should be really interesting. Background nice and muted. He's kept
Yes.
it down there pretty good. Probably could go a little cooler yet back there. Might be just a little bit warm after those secondary trees.
Okay.
And the grass will probably need to be, you know, a couple steps lighter. But the drawings looks really, you know, solid. I love the first one. The guy, he looks really great. So
Yeah, I thought it would be a
what do you
lot.
have, bro?
It would be easier,
Go
but
ahead.
it's to get those curls in there.
Yeah, if we spent more solid time on him, I think we yeah, and he's like in the, you know, since he's a full size in the image, you know, it's hard to get a lot of curls in there without getting a lot of mess. So you got to do them, you know, kind of gang them all together. And
Okay.
that's what I was seeing. That's what I was seeing on the side there. That there was some paint there that you were, you know, doing that with. I could really start seeing some of that effect, working and stuff. So I liked it a lot. Yeah, right in there.
Okay.
So, okay,
Thank you.
good job,
Thanks.
great job. Thanks, Lori. See you Thursday.
See you then.
Yes. Okay, who we got here? We got, oh, there's Char. Now she's good. Now that's a good Highland
Nice.
cow. I can tell that. You don't even have to get it right. Are you painting in the dark? What happened?
No,
You
I
turn on
shut, I
power on
tried
you
to
again?
shut the lights off behind me so that I could, but I just haven't figured out how to get the good lighting when I show it to you. But there
Hey,
he
look
is.
at me. I've been doing this for 4 years now, and I still don't have good lighting on mine either. So don't worry about it. Really great cow. That's a cool looking good. That's a really good start for that Highland. Yeah, his ears might have to be bigger and a little bit bigger, but everything's right there for him. The other one's good too. Good start shape on him. Yeah, and I like the mutedness. You took out all the information back there and kind of pushed it together. And that works really, really well. Yes, you know, probably you have to brighten some of the grass up,
Yeah.
yeah, you still got a lot of work to do it that way, you know, in the
Yeah.
front part. And you started putting the hairs in and stuff. Yeah, it gets clunky really quickly.
There, it's a little better. Yeah, a little.
Yeah, a little bit better there.
Yeah.
No, I saw the color. I thought the color was pretty good too.
Okay.
And just, you know, watch how much white is in those yellows yet too. I mean, the hairs and things like that. It could be just going a little bit too white, but we got time to fix it now. Soils, we can always, you know, push that stuff around yet.
Well, I
I'm
tried using the palette knife a little bit, and I think I got a little too much paint from the palette knife. I think that's why there's so much white on there.
Yeah,
I
that's
got a
what
little
was
carried
saying,
away.
too. No, I did the same thing when I laid it in there. I said, when he goes in with a knife, it goes in like a whole degree lighter. So
Yeah.
it's you almost have to think about it, but I didn't even think about it because I was just doing it. It was, but good shapes. I think you're in a really good area to finish this guy up.
Okay, great.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Good job. All right. And then we go on to Kathleen.
Hi.
Kathleen, are you sleeping again? This is Kathleen sleeping again. Her feet are up in the air.
Yeah,
Oh, there it
I'm
goes.
doing that again, but
Oh, let's see how your cow came.
well, he's got long ways to go. My color's a little off as usual, but
Yeah, it's just, not too bad though. Not really bad at all. I mean, I think the background is okay. I could definitely live
rough.
with that.
yeah.
It's rough, but it's supposed to be kind of soft and like it is. It's kind of drizzly, kind of foggy back there, so it's good. And then just keep the color in that, in the foreground here, like you are. It's really great. That's really good.
Well,
Yeah, I don't really have any really, big marks to say against this guy yet. Definitely he's doing well. Let's see. What do you have? You have any problems going on?
I think he doesn't look burly enough, but maybe once I get him, more hair on him and stuff, that'll help.
Okay. It probably just needs you're probably just a little bit too high in the waist. I think that needs that little gut. Probably just a
Okay.
hair too high on it. Just drop it down just a little bit and it'll burly him up.
Fatten him up a little. Okay.
Little fattening him up, and then that's not bad at all.
And then I thought my
the
black
other-
cow looked a little small, but maybe
I know, but the colors, you did a really good job of placing colors in there. You could see those gray blues as your highlights against that red back there, and then your really darks underneath the chin and things working really good. That's a really great combination to know.
yeah.
Especially
No,
when you
I
have
just
to
got to
paint
remember it.
dark things. Remember
Well,
that.
thanks. I
Yeah.
was just copying you, so.
You can't blame me for everything. All right.
All right. Well, thanks. Sorry, I'm not going to be able to make it this week, but hopefully another one.
No worries. I'll be around. Hopefully I'll just keep going with things.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm going to work
Yeah.
on that other dog that I bought online, so I'll be doing my own dog, I guess. One of your
All
blue
right.
ones.
All right.
So, okay. Well, thanks.
Okay. No problem.
It was a great session.
Thanks, Kathleen. You're always great to have.
Oh, thank you.
You Eva and Kim, we got you guys. Mike didn't paint. Suzanne, see if she painted. I doubt she painted. She did not scream out, "What color is this? What color is that?" No, and Lynette left. Cannot believe, how could she leave? Let's go with Kim. Let's see if Kim's here. Hi, Kim.
Okay, there we are. Ta-da.
Good job, Kim.
Nice.
All right, get out of here. Go on, leave us alone. That's embarrassing, Kim. That's really quite embarrassing. How many classes have you taken with me? And that's the best you can do?
6.
Oh my God. Damn you. That's good. That's really great. That's some solid Highland cow there. Great job on that so far. You're going in the right direction. Let me see. I'd say, yeah, just watch how much in your highlights on the brown one, how cool those highlights are. Make sure that you have a little more yellow in the final ones and stuff when you finally get to the last one.
To do, but then the yellow started turning green, so I have to fiddle about with that.
Oh yeah. Then you started crying, screaming, crying about and blaming me about it.
Orange.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
really great though. That's a great, real solid so far. I hope you're happy. If you're not, I'm,
No, I am. In
you
the
know,
beginning, I thought the cow's face looked a little bit like a bear, but it's maybe a touch long. I don't know, but it's okay. It's all right.
yeah, it's just a touch long, but not by much. I mean, I think it's basically the highlight goes up a hair, and that's all it is. I think it's where the highlight is on his top of his nose. It probably goes back about a little bit, but not by much. And same with the other guy. You know, he's looking good. Good job on these grays. Solid. You didn't mess with his darks too much. You let him be. You know, he looks good already. You know. Yeah, nice job on the Highland cow. Really good. I think you did a nice job on his horn. His horns are good too. I like those. Really nice.
Thank you.
Mine, good job. Congrats. Okay,
about
who's
me?
left?
Ava.
You keep forgetting.
Ava. Ava, I did not. I told you to put your, turn
I'm
your
cooking.
stuff on.
I
Okay,
got,
what do you want?
I got a
How si-
monster.
What size did you paint that thing?
18 by 24.
I guess you wanted this one. You must have liked it.
Well, I bought those in Hobby Lobby so they were so cheap, and now I understand why they're cheap. I couldn't cover them.
Good, but still, that's great. Really nice job, Eva. You really got some solid darks in there. I mean, you got that guy just jumps off out of there, and your muddled background works really quite nice so far. Yeah, just little things to play with in the background. Just little nudges here and there to take some of the roundness off things. But I love the abstract feel to it. And then the cows, they're very solid. Just you're gonna it's gonna be fun to see when you get the hair put in, because I know you do that stuff really well.
Right now they're hairless.
Yeah, you got that detailed stuff. You do that really well, so you should have no problem with that. Just make sure one of his legs in the back comes forward too far, and then one of the front one comes back too far. So switch those two around. His two legs where they come down on the ground.
That's kind of weird, I know.
Yeah, the front one's not down far enough, and the back one's too far down. So you take a little bit off that one and put it on the other one. You're fine. Yeah, really good. Yeah, I like it a lot. Congrats. What about you? What do you want to do to it?
Yeah, fix those
Everything.
legs. The grass is too bright and too yellow. Doesn't show it, but that's the only color I mixed, so I just wanted to cover, and I really just blocked everything. I'm gonna work a little bit on the background, kind of special on that from that, like a 2 round blobs. So
yeah, but yeah, they are. But I think the way you fix things up, you may have no problem with that. That's gonna be fun. That has a lot of character to it already. It jumps really well. Congrats.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's really nice. Okay, who'd I miss? Did I miss anybody?
Lisa.
Just scream out like Ava did.
Lisa.
Oh, Lisa. Yeah, how can I miss Lisa? There's so many people. That's the problem. Okay, Lisa, we left the best for last. What did we do? Did we? Or did we? God, Lisa, you got that whole thing painted?
I kept up this time.
My gosh, girl. Really good job. That's excellent on that cow back there. That back cow's, you really nailed him. That looks just like him.
I shortened him. He's shorter than yours. He's missing his back leg. So we just compressed him.
That's compressing's right. Okay. Just don't have him meet, him and the other one meet at the same spot line there because you created a line there going across there. So you're gonna have to bring his hairs down a little bit farther on the first one, front one.
Where you mean
Um,
hit the back leg hairs, you mean? Which
No,
hairs?
the belly hair, the very, the
Okay.
girth hairs.
Oh, I see what you mean.
or-
Yeah, I see it. Okay.
okay, that's the only thing I saw right off.
Yeah,
the
I
bat.
see it right off
And,
the bat.
You're having fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm just rolling the brush over him.
Yeah, it's working out really well. It's gonna be fun. I don't have anything else I would say. I think your background is real nice. Nice subtle grays kind of blending together, but you can tell they're trees, but they're fantasy land because of it's pretty nice.
That's better. There's so much glare on it.
Yeah, I could see the glare, but I couldn't took that into consideration. So
Like the
yeah,
rainbow
look
forest.
at that. A lot of probably more cow pies is the only thing I think you need.
Yeah.
Big old cow pies.
Okay.
Those are easy. Ask Minnie for some. She probably has a bunch of
That's
to use.
true. They are that size.
Anyway. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much
This
for
is-
this session. I think I missed a couple classes here and there, but it's been very fun.
Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed
I
it.
painted too, Jim. It's Susan. I painted.
No, Susan, I'm sorry.
I
I'm not-
did. I painted. I have no Wi-Fi, so I'm on my phone. But let me just
Okay.
let me.
You
flip
are,
my-
yeah, you were out in the boonies of Western Springs, right?
Oh my God! I have paint all over my face again. Now I can't flip it around. Can I flip it?
You got to quit eating the paint.
I know. Oh, here we go. Okay.
Holy crap. Holy. Wow. That's a great Highland. You nailed it. Congrats. That's fabulous.
I think he looks better as I'm looking on my phone than he does in real life. But thank you.
You got to take the compliment. Can't take the big compliment. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. What would I say? I think, I was asking you about the lime greenness a little bit. It'd be a little cooler back there, but not by much. I like the trees. That's good. You're just getting to the points on the Highland where you're gonna have to make all of your decisions here a little bit. Yeah, and the fur and stuff. Yeah. But I think you're working yourself there really well. That's that looks great. In fact,
Thank you.
really
Thanks.
nice. Happy for you. That's nice. Congrats.
Thank
What
you.
size is that?
It's 12 by 16, so that's the biggest I've ever done. So it's little for you, but it's big for me.
Well, 12 by 16 is good. That's a good size for, you got 2 cows in that size, in that small of a painting. That's not bad.
Yeah.
I just, have to use bigger brushes and stuff, so I have to go a little bit bigger. That was really nice. Thanks, Susan.
Thank you. And I'll see you Thursday. I'm excited.
Woo-hoo. Yeah, you can even bring them in. You people who painted these guys, if you want to bring in any of your stuff at all, any paintings.
What time is
bring it in.
Thursday?
10 o'clock.
Okay.
I'll be there about 9:30 though. That's when she'll be there to open the doors and setting up. So 10 o'clock, get going. Get Anne Marie there somehow. Hopefully she shows up again. I have to call. I had to wake her up the last time.
Jim, do
Anyway.
you send an email out when your January session is going to start again?
Yeah. I will let you guys know. It's second week of January, but yeah, you guys don't worry. I'll hit you guys up with that. And then there's also going to be, I'm going to have a couple holiday paints in probably December for you guys too. If you guys want to join, whatever. It's one of those things, more snow scene type things, kind of holiday. Get you guys in the mood. Or give you a break from the holidays. maybe we'll do some crocodiles or something like that. Something fun.
Thanks.
Something way off Christmas, not, anyway. That's it. Gosh, that fall flew by.
It did.
Appreciate everybody. Appreciate all you guys coming out and painting with me. I really enjoy it. And I enjoy hearing the questions and things like that. So if you have any more questions, go ahead and, just put them on our site on Facebook, and we'll talk about it. So
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jim.
Yes. For all
See
your
you
help.
Thursday.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it
Bye.
all.
You, bye.
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 Night, everybody.